warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anissa Amanda Betty Azizen. I am going to tell you a story entitled The Gracious Gift. Once there was a king who was generous and kind. He was interested in the welfare of all his subjects, and it was his greatest wish his people live in peace and happiness, and none should have any cause to grumble. So he wandered about the country to learn the true condition of his people. One day, when he was in disguise, he saw a strange sight. A farmer was vigorously plowing his field, but instead of a pair of oxen, he had yoked a woman to the plow. The king's blood boiled. He could barely control his anger. "What are you doing? Haven't you any oxen? Why are you making this woman draw your plow?" "She is my wife," quietly replied the farmer. "Your wife? What do you suppose a wife is? A slave or a beast of burden?" The farmers replied, "You can afford to talk like that. You rich people with your horses and carriages do not know what poverty entails. I have become so poor that I had to sell my oxen to make ends meet. But a farmer must till his land to earn a living. So I have asked my wife to do the job of a bullock. She is not complaining." The answer did not satisfy the king. "I will not tolerate this. Whatever you may say, it is most inhuman to use a woman in this way. I will give you enough money to buy a bullock, but you must immediately release the lady." The farmer was so angry. "Who are you to order me about? Why should I accept your money? I am not a beggar." The king then spoke gently. "Please unyoke my sister." "Ha ha ha! If you feel so sorry for your so-called sister, why don't you take her place? If you are willing to do that, I shall immediately release the lady." The king at once agreed. The farmer had no alternative but to unyoke his wife and yoke the king. The king started to draw the plow through the field, but he was not used to manual labor, so part of the land was badly plowed. When the crop ripened, the farmer found that this part of field was yielded poor and small ears of corn. The farmer turned to his wife angrily. "See what your so-called brother did. He did not work with all his strength. The result is the ears of corn are underdeveloped." But when they cut the harvest, they found that the small cobs contained pearls instead of seed. "You were hasty and impudent to curse my brother. Look at the rich crop he has given us, a crop of pearls." The farmer's wife exclaimed with delight. "Your brother has performed magic. He must have supernatural powers. But I don't think we can claim these pearls. We must return them to their rightful owner." "How can you do that? You never even asked him his name." His wife replied. "We cannot keep the pearls. They are not ours. I must take them to the king." The farmer said firmly. They tied the pearls in a bundle. They left for the king's palace. On arrival, they went straight to the royal court. Here, the king sat on the throne with his ministers and noblemen on either side. The farmer and his wife approached the throne with the bundle of pearls and bowed respectfully. They said together, "Your Majesty, They did not complete the sentence because the king was none other than the stranger who had insisted on replacing the farmer's wife and plying the field himself." The farmer fell on his knees. Your Majesty, please forgive me. I made a great mistake. Please forgive me. The king too had recognized the couple. He smiled gently. Why do you ask for forgiveness? I am glad I was able to help you. The farmer placed the bundles at the king's feet and said, these pearls were reaped from that portion which you had plucked. They do not belong to us. Please accept them as the fruit of your labor. The king refused. These pearls were grew in your field because of your hard work. But the farmer was still reluctant to accept the pearls. These pearls are the fruit of your love and sympathy. They could not be a product of my cruelty. The farmer picked up the bundle and went up to the farmer's wife. I have called you my sister. I should give you a present. Will you please accept this little gift? Neither the farmer nor his wife could now refuse the gift. And so the dispute was settled amicably. A little kindness changes things. What happiness and joy it brings. When somebody is sad and blue, do something kind to help them through. Thank you.